What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
So you asked Nick yesterday about Alex Horvath. I thought...
No.
Oh, that's not how it happened?
He told me.
Oh.
And I don't know who Alex is, but Zach Horvath.
Horvath. Very close to
Wait,
Alex.
is it Zach or Xander or Alex? Okay.
Very close to Alex.
Who's Alex Horvath?
I don't know.
Oh, anyway, whatever.
His brother.
But he did tell me, like, he did mention him to us. He got drafted by the Chargers by the way, a couple years ago.
He said that he was, that's right. He went out of his way to say he was actually interested to see Horvath move. And I thought that was ridiculous and pandering to you. But then it was rightfully pointed out
You
that,
did.
no,
Like,
look,
whoa.
if Kubiak is, bringing Shanahan, well, fullback's key. But after day one, is Taysom Hill actually your use chick? As gone, apparently, are the days in which Hill will be taking any reps with the quarterback room. Not to say, or excuse me, like practicing traditional quarterback. Not to say you won't still have packages where you line him up back there, but remember, in the Pete Carmichael age, he was still doing some traditional quarterback practicing. It does not appear that will be the case anymore. And if you think about the most multifaceted weapon on this team, I mean, he may be the most multifaceted weapon in the entire NFL. And he seems to only be getting better with age and time. It's that Mormon living is got him just getting, kind of defying age, because he defies all the vices that so many of us engage in. So the question is, Jake, is it Horvath or is it kind of Taysom Hill who you feel is maybe that extra special piece that Juszczyk represents for the Niners?
Okay, so I actually think that they'll use Taysom in the correct way, because I just think they've had so many different weapons with the 49ers. They found a way, but I don't know that it's going to be the Juszczyk role. Maybe it is, but Juszczyk is a lot. I mean, he does as much at like the tight end position as he does at fullback.
Yeah, Taysom can catch, but he can't catch like Juszczyk can.
I just don't know if he can also like inline block like Juszczyk does as well.
True. That's definitely true.
But that's not to say that you can't have a special role. Again, like think about the weapons like Juszczyk and Deebo Samuel and the way that they've moved guys around in different pieces. Even Jennings at the receiver position, they do some different things with him. And so I do expect them to actually be creative and put him in the right role for not only him, but for the offense to thrive. But I don't think you don't re-sign and sign another fullback unless you have a plan for them. I think there's going to be a plan for the fullback position just because they utilize it so much.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't mean that you can't blend Horvath and Hill together in this role to create a Juszczyk.
And again, you're right. Doing one-to-one comps is unfair because Juszczyk is singular and Taysom's singular. Like they are not the same. But the point is, I think the overall takeaway should be gone are the days of treating him like a real quarterback. You're going to really lean into it, and it's really nice to get some fresh eyes like a Kubiak on a Hill and say, okay, here's what I think we can do with him and how we can manufacture matchups and exploit said matchups. We had a Trevor Penning sighting, guys. So how about this? Fuaga working at left tackle, Trevor Penning working at right tackle. So the line as it stood on OTA day number 1, Talise Fuaga, Nick Saldiveri, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and then Trevor Penning at right tackle. So going with the ones.
That's good. I mean, honestly, all jokes aside, like that at least is something that we didn't know where it would stand.
Definitely. And again, I know that what is this? What year is this for Penning? Is this just this year 3?
This is 3.
3.
Yeah. I know for Penning, it feels like that story's always been written, but I am a firm believer that sometimes we don't allow guys to develop, and it's not that he's going to develop it into anything great, but maybe he can develop into something solid still. And so hearing is at least with the ones here to start, hopefully he can carry that through. I don't need him to be great. I just need something out of him. And it seems like you could potentially get that. You want to talk about pressure? How about Fuaga, though? Not only are you having to immediately step in to left tackle, but you're already replacing the guy who was you 2 years ago. And you're going to be and you have even more pressure on you not to fail because he failed.
there's no question about that. Like, that's already in his mind.
Yeah.
Like, he already has heard those stories. Like, they've already probably talked about that with him. I mean, you get out in front of something like that. So, like, there's going to be pressure, but just hearing from his mindset and hearing, from his college career, it does give you faith that he's able to handle that. And one of the things that when you do a breakdown of who he was coming out from Oregon State was his mental toughness.
Yep.
And so him understanding that is going to go a long way. And for Trevor Penning, if he can give you something at right tackle, like, that's going to help his confidence as well. Can he do it? I don't know, because you're going to have the other team's best rusher line up across from you. We thought maybe more guard, but if he can play right tackle and if he can be middle of the pack in the league, I mean, we're talking about a completely different outlook for this Saints team. Trevor Penning is going to have a lot to say with how good the Saints team is.
That's true. That's true, because the O-line's probably the biggest swing position on this team, and he's probably the biggest swing player on the O-line. Other OTA notes, Nathan Peterman was in a calf wrap, meaning the depth chart went Derek Carr, Jake Hayner, Spencer Rattler. So some early important 3 reps for Rattler that maybe he would not have gotten otherwise. I don't think anything else in terms of who was absent. You did not see Ryan Ramczyk, Chase Young, Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Stanley Morgan Jr., Nathan Shepard, Tano Passanio, Nathan Latu, Jalen Ford, Nephi Sewell out there. Kool-Aid McKinstry was on a bike. And Marshawn Lattimore is not out there. But do we have sound on this? I'm sorry. I apologize. I forgot. Dennis Allen said yesterday that Marshawn Lattimore, Jake, will be a part of the 2024 roster. So unequivocally, Allen getting out ahead of it and saying, okay, we have made it through the other side, and we're not moving Marshawn Lattimore.
And I think that makes sense because we talked about it. I mean, what's a 4th-round pick going to really do for you?
Yeah, nah.
It's not going to do a whole lot for you. No. What he can bring to your team, what he can bring not only on the field, but just matchups. Like, yeah, his presence on the field is going to help. He's a veteran player, like all those things. But just the matchups of, hey, that's the number one. Like, it's you and Mike Evans. We know the history there, and you're going to shadow him.
Yeah.
It just opens up so many different things for your defense that, a 4th-round pick next year's, I don't care about next year.
No, and and especially the coaches don't when they got to survive this year.
Yes.
But, like, it also gives you injury insurance at that position. You have a lot of depth there and competition, which should produce even better results. Again, between Adebo, Taylor, Lattimore, and now what Kool-Aid McKinstry looks like early on, you could be talking about one of the better cornerback rooms in the entire NFL. Taylor, do you have any takes here before we put a bow on this segment?
I'll go back to the Fuaga at left tackle. I love putting him at left tackle. I think he can do it. You watch his tape in college. He's a super athletic guy. Y'all actually weren't here. It was the day that I was filling in for you guys. It was leading up to the draft. I said, this is the guy I wanted just because I think he can do so much. His versatility, you can move him in multiple spots. I think he can play anywhere on the offensive line outside of center. And if we're being completely honest, the Saints kind of needed everything on the offensive line outside of center. I love that they're working him in at left tackle. I think that he has the potential to do it. If not, if Penning can't do it, Fuaga can go in there at right tackle. He can do it as well. I love this offensive line rotation.
So there you go. OTA day 1 in the books. Of course, it's off-season training activities. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.